house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all cycle on your black on firm, but we ain't all black.
OMG, y'all. What's happening? It's your girl, Constance Carter, and this is the Grow Your Money podcast where we talk about how to grow your money and not blow your money, because if you blow your money, it ain't a damn thing funny. What's up? Listen, we are back. It is 2026. It's January, and we have your favorite doctor back to talk about things that matter. Today, we're going to talk about your libido. Whoa, we talking sex, y'all. All right, so tell your friends to come on in because we're going to keep it real. We're going to talk about how this affects you. It affects your health. It affects your money. Because again, if it affects your money, it ain't a damn thing funny. But before we do that, I want to invite y'all in. You already know that this is a dialogue and not a monologue. What does that mean? It means I want you to talk back to me and talk black to me. I already see y'all in the building. I see y'all coming in. Let everybody know this is what we doing, okay? So put in the comments where you watching from, because you know we like to shout you out. So I see Double A out there. What's happening? What's happening, Double A? What's happened, Dennis Spraggins, and all of the other people that are coming in. Also, make sure that you're subscribing to I Am Constance Carter. Make sure you're subscribing to Dr. Jones, AskDrJ.info. Make sure you're subscribing to the Fly Nubian Queen, and make sure you're following us everywhere where you can follow us. Listen, as we're talking today, you are going to be able to ask Dr. Jones a question. And we got some real good information for you today, too. So you're going to be able to ask Dr. Jones a question. Again, the way this works is this is a dialogue and not a monologue. So the interaction is how this works. So that's the reason why we come live. Otherwise, we would pre-record it and just put it out there for your consumption, which is also fine too. But we want you to talk to us, okay? Also, know that if you have a Black-owned business or you are a Black-owned business or whatever, April, do the screen for me. If you are a Black-owned business or you have a Black-owned business, make sure you put the Black-owned business in the comments. What's up, Double A? Put your Black-owned business in the comments, or the one that you know. Not because we just want to know that you got a Black-owned business. We want to do business with you. So put in the comments if you know a great Black-owned business. I see you, Alice, in Dallas, Texas. If you know Black-owned business, a great Black-owned business, put in the comments because we want to be able to patronize you. What's up, Sherry from New Orleans? Listen in the background while you working. That's what's up. Y'all stay listening to us. So really quick, last night, we had the Net 7 Collective kickoff, and we invited a bunch of women. We had over 150 ladies that registered to be a part of the Net 7 Collective experience, and it was amazing. We met a whole bunch of really cool women. And just this community is so awesome. And we have just all these women from different backgrounds, different disciplines, different walks of life. We have entertainers, we have lawyers, and we have doctors. And just so happens that the doctor, that our favorite doctor, she's a part of this community as well. So before I bring this doctor on, I do want to bring on another Net 7 Collective fellow chapter leader. And she's your favorite entertainer. She's actually my favorite entertainer. I don't know. You guys might know her. I'm not sure. Let me. Turn me on when they run me like a ninja. Nothing made me wanna take a stand more than that, man. Help me take a moment just to I'm trying to be with you. I'd rather be with you. Hold up. You got hair. What's up with that? I can't hear you. What's up with that? You are you muted?
I grew it last week.
I
did. You don't like it?
I don't know.
Listen, I have to get used to it too. It's been many times that I walk past my mirror and I've been like, oh shit, that's me. It's me, everybody.
Who's it? You know what? That's funny because my daughter, sometimes she looks like my daughter looks like her paternal grandmother a lot. She looks just like my mother-in-law. And but sometimes I walk past her and I'll be thinking it's me. Oh shoot, because she got my,
That child look just like you. That
girl,
girl look just like
you gotta see her grandma. I love that woman. I
you.
miss that
I've
woman.
never
By the
seen her,
way,
but your daughter, you and your daughter, and the blessing is she knows what she's going to look like when she gets to be your age.
ooh,
And like there are a lot of times where people look at their parents and they're like, "Oh, that's what I'm gonna look like." No, she looks just like you. She
my
should be
kids,
thankful.
my kids. You know what? It used to be, but the compliments used to come far and few between. But now, they actually be saying, Mama, you kind of cute. You alright. So I
And
think
that's
it's
because
pretty
they can
cool.
see themselves.
I hope so. Whatever it is, I love it. So April, we had a great time last night, and I
We
love hanging
did.
out with you guys. We did. It was amazing.
You know who
Um,
I met?
who?
Dr. Jones.
I know she had vertigo, so she didn't get to make the meeting last night.
She did.
Yeah, so she
I
didn't get
had
to come.
vertigo once. Let me tell you, anybody who's had vertigo,
I had it.
it is the hands down worst thing ever. You
It's
just
so fun.
beyond not fun. It just doesn't make any sense. How
Yeah.
does that happen?
I was bedridden for a couple of days when I got it for the first, because I was this actually when I moved down here. This was about what, a year or two ago, and I was in the bed. I was like, oh, this is what my mama talk about, because my mama started getting vertigo.
It is not. It's no joke.
Yeah,
And I'm
Dr.
like,
Joe, I
where
want
did
to.
it come from? You know what? We need to ask Dr. Jones.
Yeah,
How you
let's.
make vertigo? How you make it go away?
How you make vertigo go away, Dr. Jones? What you do to make that vertigo go away?
Well, actually, hello everyone.
Hey,
Hey,
girl.
girl,
Hey.
Hey,
you're so
I'm
cute.
actually wearing the
Mm.
motion sickness patch. That's the only way I'm out of the
Oh,
bed for today.
okay,
How
okay.
do you get it?
Well, mine comes from when the weather switches and the barometric pressure changes abruptly. Like we were in the 80s and now we're trying to get down to the 50s. And something in my
I
brain
feel
just
like
shifted.
you're. I feel
Yeah.
like you're making everybody feel bad because of the fact that you were in the '80s. But go ahead.
Right, because it's like 30s
I
over
probably feel worse than you all did
there.
because I can't, my sinuses and stuff, they can't make the adjustment. And so it
Oh.
throws me in a vertigo.
Well, I know. So today, Dr. Jones, we're going to talk about this high cortisol, and we talk about sex and libidos and all the good things. And so, you said something before we started that I was like, oh shit, I don't want that. But we'll talk about it in a minute. I do want you to kind of explain, what we're talking about in terms of the cortisol level, because from what I understand, it keeps you tired, anxious, irritable. It keeps you emotionally disconnected. And I know when I can see when the stress is coming, when my cortisol levels increase, I feel it right here. And I'm like, please, please, oh Lord, just please, 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 please. And I end up getting, you remember you told me what it was, because I didn't know. I thought it was something else. And then I end up getting this rash all on my face. And that's when my cortisol levels increase. But let's talk about what that does for you sexually.
Okay, so first I have to put a disclaimer.
Okay.
This is not personal medical advice. It
Okay.
is basically education.
All right.
And the other disclaimer is for all of those who have joined in, this is an adult, mature conversation.
So wait, do we got to be 18 and plus?
18 plus.
Woo! Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh shit! Wait. Hold on. Let me get my notebook. Go ahead.
Yes. So cortisol is very expensive. It happens when you're chronically stressed. When anytime you get stress or fight or flight system, you feel some imminent danger. You get pushed to the end. Your body goes and releases cortisol because that's your stressor hormone and tell your body how to react. But what happens is when you have too much stress, you got to pay the bill for having that big cortisol being around for so long. That means how it shows up in you is that your body doesn't get good sleep. You don't get good pleasure, no joy. Um, Pretty much you just feel stressed out and you're not happy. So it shows up in your health as well as your finances. And
I
so
didn't
I would
talk to me
talk
about
about
this.
orgasms.
Wait, what? Wait, you said the O word. What?
Orgasms today.
Okay. So
Okay.
let me ask you. Okay. Go ahead. Because I got a question about that. Okay.
Okay. So the reason why orgasms matter is because orgasms for health and balance. They actually are this neural system, which is the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. They're a regulator toward the parasympathetic because they release hormones. So when you have an orgasm, you get like these major hormones released. One of them is dopamine. And then dopamine is your pleasure hormone. And
Mm-hmm.
so you feel, then when you have the orgasm, you release oxytocin. And that's the connectivity, the calm. That's the hormone that only orgasm produces, and it knocks you back into the parasympathetic, which is calm, release, relax, burn fat without any issues. And then the other hormones you get are endorphins, and that's a pain relief hormone. It changes your mood, it lifts it up, and then you get the prolactin, which is your satiety hormone. You feel like, I got it all together. So there are several studies they've done. Of course, they're always done on men that found out it's
You were just
inversely.
saying that, April. I'm sorry. April was just saying that all this, like the reason why we hear about like male things, right? The reason why we hear about erectile dysfunction and things like that, April just said it, was because they study men.
They study
If
men.
women had the same issues, if men had the same issues as women, we have cure.
So the studies show that men who have orgasms at least 2 to 3 times a week, they're actually healthier and they live longer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes what I attribute to, well, we know why they don't do a lot of studies on women, but what I also attribute it to, like my patients, I will tell you that the women aren't open to talk about orgasms.
Really?
Men will talk. My male patients will have major conversations with me because part of this thing I talk about, because sex and orgasm is a part of health. If you don't have orgasms, because it's like a release valve.
I'm
If
going to
you
tell you why.
I'm
going to tell you why women don't really want to talk about it with you in particular, or maybe, because men are more sexually free and women don't want to be judged. So, because I do know, like, if I'm at the doctor and they ask me certain things about sex, I may not be as honest.
What does that mean?
I think it comes from how we were brought up.
I'm single.
Because if you think about it, when the parents walk in on little boys and they find them masturbating, they're like, oh, just give him his space and close the door.
Mm-hmm.
If little girls were found masturbating, stop, that's bad, you're being fast. So I think it starts back from how we were brought up, and we were taught that this is bad. You don't talk about orgasms and sex. But if we don't, how are you supposed to have orgasms?
That's funny.
Somewhere.
Constance and I had this conversation actually around the time we first met. Do you remember this? When I was like, if I had a daughter, I would definitely make sure my daughter had like a vibrator or something like that. Like I would take you remember that?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking there's no way I'm doing
100%. Like that would be a field trip to the sex store. Like I would definitely be like, all right, you are 16, you're 17. I
may be a little old school in how I parent. So I was actually just talking to April about just different things that, in terms of me parenting my children. And she's like, you don't let them smoke in the house? No. They don't curse? No. They don't, what I was telling her was, we were battle rapping the other day, right? So me and my kids were rapping, and all my raps was about the N-word. I got these ends on my jaw, we just acting stupid. And so they're like, oh my God, Mom, you keep saying the N-words. But they when they with their friends, they curse their little asses off. They don't curse in front of you? Absolutely not. So I'm pretty traditional when it comes to my children, right? And so when it comes to my daughter, we don't talk. I'm not talking to her about sex. I'm just not interested in talking to her about sex. But I will, I talk about maybe sexual hygiene. I'm not asking her personal business about what she's doing. I don't want to know. I have no desire. And so to think her a vibrator or something like that is absolutely out of this world for me. It's just crazy.
That would be a field trip, honey. A field trip to the sex shop.
So I have a question for you then. Wouldn't you rather your daughter to learn about her sexual health from you?
So I'll tell you this.
Tell her all type of stuff that's not true.
My daughter is more sexually experienced than her mother. Remember, I was married. I was with the same person since I was 15. So she can teach me some things. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's
yeah,
probably your daughter. Like, yeah.
I'll just say that. She went to college. So, I don't know, anything about her bodies. I do know that when she started having sex, I did know. And she was like, "How do you know?" Mothers just know this thing. You're having sex now. And she was like, So she told me, and she doesn't have a problem with telling me stuff. I just don't. I'm not interested in knowing. I don't want to. I don't want to know. To protect yourself. Not to bring no babies in this house because you can't take care of them. And just be careful out there. And also as a woman, what I will tell her is that you don't want to be giving up to every man. You want men to treat you with a certain level of esteem, but to talk about dildos and sexual partners and what you did with this dude, absolutely not.
What can I? Oh, go ahead, Dr. Jones.
Go ahead.
The reason that because was saying something like that's crazy, and I find that to be funny that he's saying that that's crazy. One thing that women don't have the conversation. And there's so many women who don't know what an orgasm feels like. I remember the first time I had an orgasm, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, I don't know what's going on with my own body. I was afraid. And I'm like, I don't ever want that to happen again, even though it was extremely, I felt a lot of pleasure. And so, I had to learn that no, it's not bad.
Wait, when did you have your first orgasm? Hold on. How old were you?
I had mine with a vibrator. Funny story.
How old were you?
Oh, I was old. I was 20.
Oh, I've been having orgasms since I was a kid. So,
but here's the funny part.
I mean, you like humping and stuff.
I was very late.
We was humping. Wasn't you humping as a kid? You wasn't humping.
Yeah, but I had no vibrator. I mean, I didn't have. But you didn't have an orgasm? I didn't have an orgasm. No. And my first experience, I was almost 20 years old. So my mother never had a conversation with me ever. So fun fact, my first vibrator was from a client from Chevy Chase Bank. Mm-hmm. She was opening up her first business account, and her business was sex toys. Also, fun fact, you bought your sex toys through this thing called a magazine. So you'd have to go through the magazine to see what you want. Or a catalog. Isn't that crazy? That was back 150 years ago. And my first one was, I think, the rabbit, I want to say. And I literally called out of work and was like, I'm spending the whole day with me and my bunny.
Did you really? It was like you discovered America, like you was Christopher Columbus.
It was the best thing ever. And I was like, life, let's do this every day.
I will say, let me add to that because it was so funny because I had never knew anything about rabbits or anything like that, right? So I just heard somebody pass away. So we had this little group on Facebook called Pillow Talk. And so we used to always talk about like stuff like that. And so I went and ordered one and I had it sent to my office, right? So I take it out of the package and I'm just like, whatever. And I leave the packaging on somebody's desk. So I come back the next day. I forgot. I come back the next day. My assistant said, such and such had that nasty bitch. She was so mad at her. And I was like,
How do you leave that?
See, that goes back to how we have we've been led to think that sex and self-pleasure is wrong.
Yeah.
And
I guess it's wrong at the office.
Or you are.
Maybe do it.
At the office?
I mean, sex is part of physiology. Mm-hmm. It's not, she turned her back.
Why would you turn your back on me?
You in the office, anal dwelling.
I mean, because that's why it's a mature, because someone in the comments was talking about, a lot of people don't have orgasms. And that was my next thing to tell you. One of the studies were saying that 65% of women do not have orgasms ever in their life, where it's like 90-some% of men have orgasms.
Can we talk about orgasms real quick though? So, okay, so let me go back real quick. Let me ask you
Okay.
this. So when I get that cortisol, them things, whatever. So do you mean to tell me if I have an orgasm real quick, the stress will go away and the stress won't come? Like the so
Yes, the studies show that if you have an orgasm at least 2 to 3 times a week, you'll be healthier, you'll live longer.
so even if I'm going through some things that are causing me stress, just go have an orgasm. And
Yes.
then oh, okay, you
Now,
just
social construct. Now, you got to, we're not promoting go and sleep with any and everybody, but orgasms can be, because women have two types of orgasms. They have clitoral orgasms and they have vaginal orgasms.
hmm hmm
And so, clitoral orgasm may do it for you, or, that's why they have the different toys for the vaginal orgasms. But what it does, it throws your body, it decreases your cortisol level. And so it clears up your thinking. You feel not so stressed, but it's a consistent, it's not a one-time thing.
So my good girlfriend, we always say that she never had an orgasm. She had been married for a long time and she never had an orgasm. So she would tell me,
Not
That's
me, you
fine.
guys. Not
It's
me.
just
Go
fine.
ahead.
this is what she would tell me. And come to find out, she was having orgasms, but she thought she was supposed to be secreting some ejaculation across the room. And so she was thinking that she didn't have one because no, that wasn't happening.
Well,
What
she
was
didn't.
happening, Constance?
She
That-
didn't have.
That so you have to
She
have
didn't
some
have one.
squirt now
Because
in order
if
to
you've
have
had
one?
a- If you've had an orgasm, you would know it's an orgasm.
Well, she was like, "Well, this is what happens." Basically,
Then she hasn't had an
described-
orgasm.
it described it. Well, what she was describing to me was an orgasm. She was just expecting her to have some kind of liquid coming out.
Where did she get that from?
I don't know because
I mean,
men
some people do,
because that's
right?
how because that's how men have orgasms. So she thought she was supposed to do the same. You know how men
That's
ejaculate.
why her mother needed to talk to her.
Yeah,
Because I mean, women they call it squirt or skeet, but then sometimes women don't.
they
But,
call it skeet.
but the
Squirting is
question
skeeting?
whether you have an orgasm, I want to promise you she has not had an orgasm.
Really?
Yeah.
But what she described to me
Remember
sounded
what April said. The first time it happened, it was like, because they're uncontrollable. They're
Uncontrollable.
involuntary.
It's the most magical. It was.
It's
listen,
magical. I mean, so
Yeah.
because you literally release all these hormones that, you're going to know you had an orgasm. If you got to sit and question, you did not have an orgasm.
Oh,
Because
say
that's the
that
way the
loud for
body is
people. Back.
made.
I need really quick,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't mind, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I'm gonna do this real quick. While everybody else is out here blowing their money, you about to be growing your money. How? Inside the Grow Your Money Club, this is your one-stop wealth building training hub designed to help you build, grow, invest, and diversify your income. You have the credit bundle, which is going to help you to increase your credit IQ with business credit, personal credit, with the credit repair masterclass. And then you have the real estate bundle. This is where we're going to show you how to invest in tax deeds, land banks, how to buy a house separately from your spouse, the Living Trust ebook, and from Campus Cash Flows, showing your children how to become real estate investors. In the investor bundle, you're going to learn how to invest using Robinhood, the investor success formula, and the wealth map 6-phase blueprint that shows you how to build, grow, and invest your money. And finally, the business builder bundle. This is where we show you how to establish your entity and build business credit, how to obtain government contracts, how to create jaw-dropping video content, how to write and publish your best-selling book, and even how to bring your idea to life. You can purchase each training a la carte, get the bundle that fits your goals, or unlock the 12-month roadmap, which is your full access pass to every single training inside the Grow Your Money Club. While they're spending, you stacking. While they're watching, you winning. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. Sorry, y'all. I couldn't hold it no more. I apologize. Whew.
That was actually very good timing. I don't know. See, let me tell you, I can't pee that fast.
Oh, girl.
No, all jokes aside, I'm putting my sister's business out there. So my sister is the fastest pee in the West. People be like, my sister can pee in like 2 seconds. And I'm like, yo, I how? And then I meet Constance. I'm like, is it because they've had children? I don't know what it is.
it just being is not a sport.
It's a sport. You should join the P Olympics.
So, Dr. Jones, there was somebody
Talk
said
about
that
Since
somebody
you
said
asked that question, let's talk about how orgasms are affected by age.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Wait. Before we go there, I know you were going to say that. Wait, really quick. Somebody asked, should you have seizures after orgasm? Somebody said that on here. They said something about having
Somebody
seizures.
did say that.
Can you answer that question?
They said, is it safer?
Help me look for it.
Do you have seizures? No, a seizure shouldn't be unless what? I don't get the question. You said
That must have been
Where's
some.
that, April?
They must be. I'm looking. They must be hanging and swinging. Whoever's caused that seizure.
I mean, that would kind of be a cool kind of orgasm, I would imagine.
I don't think so. No, I'm gonna go with no.
That's a medical issue.
She said something about, oh, is it normal to have seizures after sex?
No. You need to see your doctor.
I've actually had it where I went to the ER, but I didn't go inside. Like I sat outside the hospital.
Were you high?
No, I sat outside the hospital because I really didn't want to go in because I didn't want to pay for it. But
you were seizing?
No, it was one of those things where all of like it was the best orgasm ever, and then afterwards everything started hurting. So I think I like had a cyst burst.
Oh
no, a cyst. I think a cyst burst.
Oh, okay.
Right afterwards, but I didn't know. So yeah, afterwards I was like, I'm going to the hospital.
Shaking like a leaf on a windy day is what you want, and not a seizure.
Right. A seizure is abnormal brain activity.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with orgasm. If you're having that after, but you're not going to know you had a seizure because the seizure everybody else knows.
Okay.
That's also true. So are you shaking like you had a seizure?
About using vibrators? What did she say about using vibrators?
What did she? Let me see.
About using vibrators?
Well, the thing is it's all about women need to know their body. So if you need to do it with a vibrator, you could do it with a vibrator. You could do it with all type of toys, or you can just self-stimulation.
So this is a common question. So is this a fact or myth? People think if you continue to use vibrators or the rabbits or whatever on your clitoris, it's going to be overstimulated and it's going to take away the pleasure sensation when you go and do it with a real person. Is that true?
No. It's the reason why we say don't use them because intimacy is intimacy. Sex is sex. Intimacy can lead to sex. Okay. So it's about interacting with the other person, with your partner. So if you get so isolated, all you're doing is staying home from work every day, with the vibrator,
I was 20.
But there are people that are sexually addicted. So, they lose jobs because they stay at home and have to have orgasms all day long. So that's different.
Somebody said, is orgasm similar to a heart attack?
No, it's not.
That's concerning, sir, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Listen, we listen and we don't judge.
No, we're not judging. It's just concerning.
It's concerning. The question is concerning because that was one of the things I was going to talk about when you age. So I mentioned that there are two types of orgasms: clitoral orgasms and vaginal orgasms.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
You better let her get this out. I want to know what.
Wait. Because some people can't have vaginal orgasms. Do you know the statistics on women who can have
women? Everybody can have a vaginal orgasm. They just do not know their body to have the vaginal orgasms. Okay. That's why you do use the toys and your finger to help. Because one thing there's called the G-spot. So the G-spot, if you take your middle finger, in a female, you take your middle finger and put it in your vagina with it up like this, and then come back a little and start feeling up along the side of the wall, the soft, spongy part, you'll feel a sensation. That's your G-spot. And so you know your body, you can lead and have conversations when you're having sex, lead your partner to pay attention to that area. And then you will have a vaginal orgasm.
Can I
So
can I give some advice
Mhm.
as it relates to that? There's a few things that you can do that help. Number one, get one of those tilting pillows so that when you're behind, when your bootay is like sticking up, he'll go up instead of going straight back, because that's what the issue is. He's going straight back and he's passing said G spot.
Right.
So that's number one. Number two, sometimes then that means if you're not getting it, it's because he might be too well endowed. So even though you enjoy the well endowed pleasure that a well endowed man can give you, that's one of the reasons that if he is well endowed, you need that tilt. So he's not pushing it all the way in. You need to actually be able to stop at a certain point. So a pillow definitely does help.
And the reason why people don't know that is because they don't know their bodies.
Mhm.
So that's why, people is no judgment, but you should touch yourself. You should know what you need to get you the goal that you want.
Mhm.
And if you don't know, how is your partner supposed to know?
Can I
Right.
bring up one other thing?
Sure.
A lot of men, they're shaped to the right or the left, and that's typically because of hand usage.
I
Um,
didn't know that. That's why they lean to the left or the
Well, not
right.
all the time. Not
not all the
there's
time.
something called
That's why I
heroic.
said typical. I said typically,
Yeah.
but it's like if it's you can it can. So if you can find one that curves upward, also a plus.
But how you gonna go find that?
Seek and ye
Yeah.
shall find. You're welcome, America.
Okay.
Now, what were
I don't.
you saying, Dr. Jones? Because
So let's go back to the changes in life. When you get over 40, um, you start losing estrogen. So it's very important
When
that
you get
women,
over 40?
oh, yeah, starting at 40, because your estrogen levels start to go down. It's very important. Just like we pay attention to our face and we get facials, moisturize, hyaluronic acid, you also need to pay attention to your vagina and do the
Okay.
same thing.
So
You
what should
know,
we
no
be doing?
douches, none of that, but you can start putting a little estrogen cream in. You need to do some hyaluronic acid, get some coconut oil, and because when estrogen drops, the tissues in the vagina are maintained peak and nice from the estrogen. When estrogen drop, they thin out. And
now
then
say that
that's,
again. You said it maintains peak and what?
huh?
You said it maintains peak and
Who? What we're
you
talking?
you just said it. You said it maintains peak and something else. Ice.
Pink. Oh, pink
Oh,
and
peak.
pink and the wetness, because the wetness comes from the glands that are there.
Mm.
So when there is not any estrogen or the estrogen starts to drop, the skin starts to thin out. Like it thins on our face and we get wrinkles. The little skin around the urethra where we pee, it thins out. So then that's why women start losing pee. Then
Mm.
the area around the uterus, that thins out and their uterus will start to drop and get prolapse. Or the part over the rectum, then they start losing poop. And then you get a lot of UTIs, a smell. And so you need to maintain your vagina, good vagina health, just like you do your face. So instead, you don't wash with body washes and all this other stuff. You use Dove soap, the original Dove soap in the blue and white box. After you
Okay.
clean between everything, then you take a washcloth or a tampon, put that in so that all your soap and stuff will not go in your vagina and cause these issues.
Okay. So going back to the vaginal health. So you said coconut oil, and you said something else.
Yes, coconut oil, you can get hyaluronic acid douche. Not a douche, but it's like a suppository.
No, I did
Okay.
not know that.
And then what?
Oh,
Okay.
honey.
So
Or
tell us. So tell
or
us about
estrogen.
or estrogen. So tell
Mhm.
us about that. How do you? So you just put the
You,
coconut
you
oil
you insert it in your vagina maybe twice a week
with what? With your hands?
with your hands.
Oh,
Or if you buy the suppositories, you just put it's a little pellet
that's
thing.
not
You
gonna
just
burn. Coconut oil is not gonna burn.
no,
So you do it while you're showering.
You can, or you can do it at night before bed if you lay down. But if you do it while you're showering, that's when you use the soap and clean everything in the vagina.
Okay. But you don't use soap on your vagina. Oh,
Well, Dove, only the Dove, the blue and white box.
Wait, I use Dr. Bronner's.
What does
The,
it have in it?
So what about
a lot of the soap has too many ingredients that they kill off the normal bugs that grow there, and then that's what caused you to get the fishy smell. That's what caused you to get a major smell. So
no, I smell like heaven.
okay, Miss Heavenly.
what about the what's that black owned one? Because that's what I
That
use.
was funny to me.
The one
Somebody said old school dial. No, it has too many
girl, yeah, it has a lot of perfumes.
fragrance and perfumes. It'll irritate you.
Yeah.
I only use like anything natural. Like if it's Dr. Bronner's, and actually that's the only soap I will use because everything else irritates me. It irritates my skin just in general.
Honey pot. What about honey pot? I use honey pot. They said that was supposed to be good for
What's a
you
honey
cleaning.
pot? I don't.
Honey pot. Yeah, honey pot. They said that's good for cleaning. They said that's good for
What's
because
in
I
it?
used to use Summer's Eve, not the dish,
You
but the
never use
no, the
Summer's
cleansing
Eve.
wash. The cleansing wash. And then
Yes.
Don't use any of those
that.
cleansing washes. Don't
and now I
use
use honey pot because they said that was better.
But what is honey pot? Is it water?
It's a vaginal cleanser.
Okay, so you really shouldn't be using vaginal cleansers. You need to just use that one Dove soap, or it's just to you get in there with you have your own specific washcloth
Mhm.
for just your vagina,
Mhm.
and you use that Dove soap. Dove soap is cheap. That one in the blue and white box, the original Dove soap.
So
And
use
that's
that on your coochie?
Yes, that's what you use down there, and then you use that, rinse it off, and then use a tampon or a washcloth and stick it up there so that when you use your body wash, that stuff that's on your body doesn't come down into your vagina.
Do you do the whole tampon thing every day?
Well, no, you can just use that vagina cloth wash.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, I'm sorry, I've never done that one time.
That's a lot of wasted tampons.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's why I'm like,
yeah, just do the washcloth. Put it in between your legs so that the whatever you wash your skin with won't go down into your vagina and cause because the problem is when the bugs that normally maintain healthy vagina, they have to be they're
what's not the use of the word bugs when we talk about vaginas?
okay. Well, the organisms that
I like
normally
that.
grow there, they have to be maintained in a certain happy family. If some of them overgrow, then that's what causes the discharges and the smells and the BV, the fishy smells. So a lot of women smell fishy because they're douching, they're using all these fragrant type things in their vagina, and the vagina doesn't need all of that.
Let's talk
Okay.
about BV because I didn't know anything about BV until I was probably last couple of years. So what is BV? Because I was wondering why
It's the overgrowth of it's killing off of the bad bacteria, some of the other bacteria, so you overgrow bacteria, and that's why you get the fishy smell. That's BV.
So does that because somebody has thrown off your pH balance that you have?
Or it could be, sitting in bubble baths. It can be you using perfume down there. You're using all type of stuff. Anything that causes irritation that destroys the normal flora of your vagina can cause BV.
What can throw off your pH balance?
All of that. Bubble baths, all of that.
What about if you have multiple partners, or if you have a partner that has multiple partners? That throws off your pH balance as well, right?
That throws off everything. Mentally, socially, everything.
Spiritually,
that throws off everything. Because now you're sleeping. Because everybody has a different.
I was going to ask
organisms. Okay.
I want to know about this.
And the thing is, when your organisms, somebody's bringing something else to the table, and it's just like a hodgepodge of stuff. And your body is trying to relate to that. And yes, you will. Now, the bad part is not the VD. The bad part is if you get herpes, if you get gonorrhea when you're sleeping with a bunch of people. So,
Yeah.
and then there are some people that are actually allergic to the plastics and everything that's in the condoms or the male's makeup, because if he's sleeping or whoever is your partner is sleeping with multiple people, they are getting bugs from them, they're getting organisms from them. And so it can actually throw it off. But if you clean your vagina one way, what is the water?
I'm listening. Clean your vagina. Okay.
Yes,
Everybody make a note. Clean your vagina.
clean your
I
vagina
think
with
everybody
a
knows.
washcloth
Yeah.
and with the Dove blue and white soap. And just make sure all the other stuff doesn't go down there in that vagina. But what led up to this discussion is as you get older, women go through menopause and men go through andropause, which means it's just your hormones that you use to be who you are, female or male, are starting to decrease. And so with women, you have to take care of your vagina or else you have these issues.
Or else.
So, that's why some women smell like pee because they're constantly leaking pee.
Girl, they
But
be
you
smelling like
have
pee.
to
These
maintain
women
your,
around here smell like pee.
huh?
They need to be wearing Depends. They right here
Well,
smelling
no, they
like.
need to take care of their vagina.
Mm.
Okay, and so there's two things that I wanted to bring up. Number one, I want to talk about Yoni's themes, and I want to put a pin in that for a second. I want to go back to one of the things that Constance and I were talking about, and that's celibacy. And that's something that makes my ass itch when people are like, I've been celibate for the last 13 years. And I'm like, that is not a flex. Your vagina's broken.
I just told.
Well,
I
it
just
depends
told
on
April. I just told
what are
April
you
how
talking
long I've
about
been
in
celibate.
celibacy?
I just told April how long
That's
I've
the
been
point.
abstinent. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
That's the point, though. What is celibacy? Celibacy is not having sexual intercourse with another person.
Mm-hmm.
It does not mean you're not having orgasms.
But even if you're, so here's my question. Even if you're having an orgasm, so someone brought up the rose. The rose is just strictly focusing on your clitoris. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's a muscle that you still have to work out, which is your vagina. And my
Right.
thing is, as it relates to your vagina, it needs to be actually pounded on a consistent basis in order for it to work properly. And so when people say 13 years, 2 years, 3 years, 7 years, I'm like, that is not a flex. Your vagina could not be working. What if it's
So maybe they
broken?
are working their vagina. That's why I say you got to go back and see what they mean by celibacy.
Mm-mm.
Because celibacy could only
I'm
mean that
celibate.
I'm not sleeping with a partner. It doesn't mean that
Even
they're not
even
using
with,
dildo or balls or
well, if they're
yeah.
using a dildo, I would
Mhm.
say, like, and I'll use myself as an example, going back to my
Wait,
rabbit situation. What?
go ahead.
Going back to the rabbit situation. Using the rabbit, you're still not necessarily pounding it and making sure that it's working the way that it's supposed to work. I mean, the average person doesn't go as far as they would when it's an actual human attached to the pleasure
But
piece.
that's why you do your Kegels on your rabbit.
You can't because it's only on your clitoris.
No, rabbit.
The rabbit
Rabbit.
goes in your
Rabbit
vagina
goes
too.
inside.
Oh, so I didn't have a rabbit. I had the other thing.
The rose.
It wasn't the rose. The
So
first
that's
one
why
was.
some people shouldn't just use the rose. You should also use a dildo or like the rabbit does both, and but you're right. You actually have to do
You're right.
exercises and but abstinence and celibacy are, that's just saying I'm not with a partner having sex. It doesn't mean that they're not having orgasms or taking care of their vagina. But you're absolutely right. You have to, it's a muscle. You have to work it out just like you work out your guns, just like, you do your face with chewing, all of that.
If somebody
Um,
gets ED, can they restore? Can they be restored from ED?
So the thing
Can a
is,
person?
that was the other thing we were going to talk about. So the ED, the clit, the clitoris and the penis both respond to blood flow. That's how you get orgasms, because the blood is diverted to those particular tissues. If the blood stays there, then they will get very hard and then they can reach orgasms. What happens is, if you get to the point where you can't get that, so until proven otherwise, that's a heart disease issue. You need to go to the doctor and get worked up for heart disease, because it's not about stimulation. It's about the blood flow is being blocked to go to those areas.
So when guys get to be like, they 70 and they're popping the little blue pill, there's still ways that they're able to avoid that. Because my whole thing is, I've always said I'm not looking forward to old age, because I still want to do it.
Well,
I
that's,
mean, you gotta do it today.
but I mean, look at the men that can't do it. 9 times out of 10, they have diabetes, they have high blood pressure. All of those are vascular issues. So
Well, see, I
that's
just
why I
thought
said,
all men when they got to be.
huh?
I'm sorry, excuse my ignorance, but I just thought all men once they got to be a certain age just.
No, they don't have to. If they maintain their sexual health, like clean their penises, make sure they get testosterone. If it start where they're not getting as hard, then they need to go see their doctor, because they need to do a heart check, make sure their blood flow, their vessels, because the number one cause of people not reaching orgasms and not having erections, or women is the same thing, is because of cardiovascular disease. Their cholesterol is high, or they have high blood pressure that has not been diagnosed, or they have diabetes. All of these things affect blood flow to these organs,
Okay.
to those tissues.
Can we go back? Where is it now? The yoni steam. I've never had a yoni steam, but I hear they're so great. Can you tell me anything about them?
Yeah, it's just basically steaming. Like, you know how you do it for your face? They steam your face
You're
for
supposed to
moisture.
tighten it up.
Yeah, and it tightens up. It's the same for the vagina.
But I mean, it is something that you would recommend.
Well, you can do it, but the thing is, you have to watch what they are putting in the yoni steam.
Okay.
I
Because
would do
usually
it
it's like
for,
teas and.
they sell them over the counter.
Say it again.
They sell them over the counter, the whole little
Hmm.
kits.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So if I decided to steam at home, my thing is I'd like to know. Do you know what are the advantages
Well,
of
it helps
yoni
with
steam?
moisture. It puts moisture back into your vaginal tissues, just
Mhm.
like you want moisture in your face and your skin. And then it can tighten, but it doesn't work just by itself. It also, you got to do your exercises. Your
This
Kegel
girl who used to, I'm sorry, this girl who used to work for me, she had her own. Remember, I did the yoni thing. And one thing she had at her place, one thing she said when I went to her place was that she was getting her pH balance was always getting thrown off until she started doing the yoni. And that was the first time in her life that she wasn't getting like her pH balance and BV and stuff like that. She was trying to figure out like a good fix. And that was the thing that kind of fixed it for her.
Yeah, but not just alone. If you do the yoni steam, you need to do the other stuff too, because you can't steam your vagina every day.
Yeah, correct.
And so in between, you can use some coconut oil to put in your vagina to moisturize, to maintain the moisture. And with all of
No,
this,
I didn't know that you can moisturize with cocoa butter.
Coconut.
unfractionated coconut oil.
It's fascinating.
Which you can also use for oil pulling. Those two things are very important.
Oil
Sorry.
pulling, that's what you yes.
We're talking about
Sorry,
sex.
what did you say?
Coconut oil is also good for oil pulling. If you want to use, as it relates to sexual health, you also want to have a clean mouth.
That's true.
Ding.
Ding. And so someone, that's Armando. So what we talk about, the Kegel exercises, these are all pelvic floor exercises. When April was talking about the pounding, you got to keep all muscles working out regularly.
So is it true if you don't use it, you lose it?
Yes, that's with everything.
Really?
Yes.
If you sit down in a chair all day long never get up, never walk, you won't be able to walk after a while.
What is atrophy? You get
The muscle atrophy.
Okay, I got a question for you. Here's a question that was online, Dr. Jones. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, thought this was interesting. It says, where is it at? Is it normal that my libido comes back only when my life is falling apart? Okay, so this woman says her sex drive only shows up when her life is chaotic. So let me read you the thing. It says, I'm a 38-year-old professional woman, stable job, no financial stress, on paper, healthy relationship. Here's the weird part. When my life is calm, organized, and predictable, my sex drive disappears completely. I feel tired, detached, and uninterested. But when I'm overwhelmed, deadlines piling up, sleeping less, stressed about money or family, suddenly my libido strikes. I want sex more. I feel more alive. My partner thinks stress turns me on. I don't think that's it. I think my body only recognizes intimacy as a relief valve and not a baseline need. Is my nervous system addicted to stress? And if so, is that healthy or something broken?
Once again, I'm not giving any personal help. This is just education wise. I really think she needs to see a psychiatrist or a
Oh, it's out here.
sexual therapist, right? Because there's something going on. Because technically, if your cortisol levels are high, you should not be wanting to
You
have
should,
sex.
but that's the thing that relieves the stress.
Sex does relieve the stress. So, but her cortisol levels are high. So even when she doesn't have cortisol around and she's calm and she says she doesn't want to have sex, then that's a problem because it shouldn't be based on what's going on in your life. You could use it as a relief valve, but it shouldn't be that it can only turn on one time or the other. That's something else that's going on.
Okay.
She has to look into that.
So is it so when we're talking about stress, is it strictly the orgasm or is it the act of intimacy and the orgasm that
It's the
releases?
orgasm. These hormones are only released with orgasm.
The reason why I ask is it's like I'm thinking, okay, so if I start stressing, do I need a man or a toy? And if a toy will do, then I might be okay sometimes. I'm just
Well,
saying.
that's your personal preference. Whether you
No, I'm just
need,
no. I would rather have the man, but if you're single, I just want to make sure that because I didn't know that orgasms release stress. So
yes,
next time I'm getting ready, my cortisol levels are increased. I'm gonna go have a personal moment, being when I know it's coming on, to say because I was like meditating, please, oh, and none of that was working.
meditate on a penis. What about the Kundalini? Are you familiar with Kundalini energy?
no, no. I just know it's a particular type of energy with the chakras in yoga, but I'm not, and I think it's where you get your orgasms from.
Okay, that's
Is that
that
the first
chakra.
no, the first chakra maybe is
The
the one.
chakra, the pelvic chakra.
Yeah, the pelvic chakra. So I think that's the energy she's talking about, but I haven't done a lot of research on that. But
Other
supposedly,
one?
huh?
No, no. What's the other one? That's it's an Indian folk. It's
Tantra,
no. Oh dear God.
Sutra,
tantric
Kama Sutra. Kama Sutra.
Kama Sutra. Yeah, you can get you some Kama Sutra books if that help. But the whole conversation is about embracing sex orgasms as part of health. Because if you do not and you keep yourself from having that, or you're faking it and lying about it, you're becoming more frustrated, your brain is clogged, and then you don't make good decisions.
Wow.
Financially, you end up impulsive spending, because you're chasing dopamine. And dopamine is one of the hormones that's released in orgasm.
So
So you see women always ordering takeout. shopping all the time, on TikTok shop and just going overboard. You know, but that's increased stress causes all of this
So
relationship issues.
if you have not had an orgasm, how do you achieve one? Because you were saying my friend never had one.
Because that's the problem. I can't find a man. No.
Well, that's why she needs to go buy some toys and use her finger. There are plenty things. You know, I would not suggest porn because porn is not real.
So how do you achieve an orgasm?
So what she
By
has to do
yourself.
is she starts using her fingers to figure out what feels good. So she gets in her private space and start touching places.
So you have
Because
an
once
orgasm
you
without
know,
porn?
huh?
You have an orgasm without porn? That works?
Everybody gets all quiet. Oh?
What? You can have orgasm without a porn, yes.
Didn't know it.
Yes. But the thing is because if it takes that, that means you don't know your body.
I'm talking
Because
about. Yeah, you gotta get
because the body is not just about penetration. A lot of
About-
times you learn, like if you get, get the mood, get a mood room, you're alone by yourself and start touching areas. Get you some feathers, start getting you different things and touch areas behind your neck. Blow, different things. You can have your partner to do that. That's intimacy. Because
Well, I
then
mean, you want. So the idea. So I don't know. Just my thought is the
Very
idea.
entertaining.
The idea of solo is that you achieve what you need to achieve as quickly as possible. So like the idea of you discovering, like I could do that with a partner, but like you like
no, you don't need to put that on
turn
the partner.
Pornhub on
But
and
you don't
get
need
to
to put
work.
that on your body, on a
Huh?
partner. You don't need
Thank
to put
you.
discovering on your partner. Discovering is so you will know how
I
to
already
make
know.
yourself have an orgasm.
You
Huh?
good.
Can I tell you what's funny, Dr.
Do
Jones?
you know that there are some places on your body that are not your vagina, that are not your clitoris, that you can touch and massage and have a very powerful vaginal orgasm?
Cool.
But
I want
most
somebody
women
else to
don't
do that
know.
part. The solo sex is not anything that I want to just like. So I was telling April. I was telling April today. I said I don't want to have meaningless sex anymore. Like so, if I'm gonna have meaningless sex, I can go to the toy to do that, right? So if I'm gonna go to the toy, then it's gonna be like just doing it, like just get it out the way. All of those discovery things I want to do with a man, not by myself. It's just me. No, y'all like to do that? Okay.
Do you not feel like that you're not worthy enough to know
No,
your
I
body?
just there is a
It doesn't have nothing to do with a partner.
climax I want to achieve very quickly and get the fuck up. So I don't want to be taking a whole lot of time doing that shit. It's for a purpose. Now, when I'm with a man, we can go all day, all weekend, and do all of those things. But if I just need to do this one thing, let's get to it. Pornhub, boop, boop, boop. Let's go. That's all I'm saying.
I
Why?
was
Why do you feel that way?
It's because it's just for pleasure. That's it.
But why do you feel that your pleasure is
not worthy of,
connected to
It's
somebody?
not about worthiness. It's about when I'm with a man, I want to do all those things with a man.
because
I
that's
don't wanna
not pleasure. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for more of a release as opposed to pleasure. Because
Correct.
pleasure is going to give you all of the things.
Yeah, I
But
don't want to play for myself.
it's funny that you it's funny that you say this. My friends and I were in LA, right? And we were having a wonderful, heartfelt conversation about sex. And one of my girlfriends was like, I don't know what turns me on. Like, I don't know those things. That's for a man to know. And I'm like, I'm sorry to say, that is the stupidest thing anybody could say, because this is your body. Only you know, like, you need to tell him what turns you on and what doesn't turn you on.
Don't
Now,
let him tell you, right?
well, and the one thing that I'll
That's the
say
fun thing.
is, say it again.
I said it's a fun thing. It's all about discovery with that.
No,
person.
but I was gonna also add that when you do get in a relationship, then your partner can help you discover even more, because you might some things that maybe that will turn you on with you, just you by yourself, it might be enhanced when it is another partner, because from a mindset, you a lot of things change when you're in the presence of the person that you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? But you should know what turns you on. Now, I'm not saying, as it relates to you, I understand you, Constance, like you're saying, I want this person to be the person to add more to my sexual experience. Huh?
I said, let's discover together. I don't want to discover myself.
Right. But I will say that, like, but do you know, you already know what turns you on, right? Like, you don't need somebody to tell you what turns you on. So then that's different. Okay. As long as you're not saying like he has to tell me because I have no idea where my spots are. Like, there's people who really don't know where their spots are. And it just, like, this one friend of mine was like, yo, I have absolutely no idea what turns me on. That's his job to figure out, not mine. And she's like, I'm not going to tell him what turns me on. He needs to figure it out.
She probably has a very boring sex life. Like, I would feel like this is a mutual discovery session that we are both figuring out what we both like.
I like that. It's a mutual discovery session. I love that. I'm going to use that.
I would imagine that would be, but I think somebody who's like, no, you got to figure it out. Like, she's probably a horrible lay. It's horrible lay. Figure this shit out. While I lay here. It's a horrible lay. And I hope she's watching, April. I hope your friend is watching. Tell her I said she's a horrible lay.
All right, I'll tell her. Hold on, I'm looking at there was something that somebody said.
Let me ask you this. So you talked about our libido declining at a certain age, right? So I would say, you said at 40, whatever. Mine went up.
Started.
Yeah, mine increased at 40. Mm-hmm. However, once I get to a place where the libido decreases, what are the things that you could take? Because I always want to be horny.
But the thing is, that's the point. It's kind of like a car. Do you wait till your car break down to decide, let me figure out what's going to keep my car from breaking down?
Maintenance.
No, not. The body ages at 40. So you have to start doing these things now so that you would never reach that point. It's called preventative.
Mm. So there are women who are older.
Well, I was talking about the little estrogen, the coconut oil. If you want to do the yoni steam, when you get in your 40s and over, you don't have to do it as often, but you're getting your tissues ready so they won't ever think they're going to dry out.
I love that. So what estrogen do we do? What estrogen do we do for maintenance? How do we get estrogen? Is this like a?
That's through your doctor.
Oh, we gotta get it prescribed.
But they do make over-the-counter plant estrogen suppositories.
Is that good?
Yeah, if that's what you want to do, yeah.
So I could just go to over-the-counter and get me some plant estrogen suppositories that's going to keep my coochie maintenance.
Maybe like once a week, or you can just use the coconut oil. Just keep it, moist and because as we age and with dehydration, those tissues are very friable. They will start drying out. So you don't wait till they dead and crackled to start doing something. You start as we age, because that's where your aging goes. And that's why you see people in their 90s still having sex, still up doing things.
Coconut oil does that?
Right.
Okay. You said crackled. I don't ever want my vagina to be referenced as crackled. I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't like the terminologies that you're using today, Dr. Jones. First, you're talking about
crackled is not how
bugs on your vagina and your vagina crackling. You're right, Constance. We're gonna that's negative self-speak. Okay?
Crackling coochie.
You have a crackling vagina. I'm looking at the hydrocortisone. It's a hydrocortisone cream. I get it. Okay, I get it. It's cream, and then you insert that. Okay, yeah, because I'm like, I'm thinking it's like a suppository, but it's
they do make them in suppositories. They make them suppositories.
But it's like what you put on your face. And it's like what you put on your face.
Well, no, you want to use the one for vaginas.
I mean, cause see, for my face though, I make my own hydrocortisone gel, right?
Right. We don't want
Oh.
hydrocortisone. We want hyaluronic acid.
Ah,
You listen.
Hydrocortisone
actually,
will not work in the
I'm
vagina.
sorry. I also make my own. I'm sorry, that's what I meant. I meant hyaluronic acid. Don't judge me, viewers. I make my own hyaluronic acid gel, to put on my face. Can I use that same gel for my vagina?
Well, you have to find out and see. You need to, because I don't know
Burn your shit off.
Yeah, I don't
want it to fall out.
Don't burn it off.
What
I
happened?
don't know how much you use. So you have to see, what's the and then do some research to figure out what level should you use for your vagina. Because I don't know how you make it, and I don't know.
Yeah, because I do that, and I'm like, if I can mix that with coconut oil, that would be a nice little mixture thing that I
There
can have.
you go. And then there you go. And maybe start with like half the dose for your face.
Yo, this part right here. How about there's so many who have they a lot of STDs are going around in these assisted
Senior
living
communities, they have the highest level of STDs.
Right.
What the hell y'all doing over there?
What are you doing?
This man around there giving all the women chlamydia. Like the hell?
And you know why? Because a lot of people, as they age, they don't use condoms anymore because they figure that they can't get people pregnant. So they're just sleeping around and they forget about the diseases.
Yeah.
Do they care?
So
think about the people who are old in those nursing homes. Those were your people that were free in their day.
Yeah, they was the hoes. Let me ask you this. So a long time ago, I remember my girlfriend used to tell me every time she had sex with her partner, when they would orgasm, she would burn, like her coochie would be on fire. But it was only after the orgasm, like burning fire. There was no STDs, there was no vaginal dryness, but when they climaxed, that burned.
She was allergic to his sperm.
You could be allergic to a man's sperm?
Yes.
Wait, tell me about it.
You could be allergic to his sperm. It's because everybody's sperm doesn't have the same makeup.
What?
Yeah.
He was not the man for her.
What?
Are they still together?
I don't know.
Burning and all, huh?
All right, so look, y'all, let me tell you something about Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones is one of the best physicians in the country. And one of the things that I love about what she does is she offers consultations, private consultations, one-on-one consultations. I've had them. And here's the thing, I go to the doctor every 6 months, and first thing I'm looking at is that STD panel. But anyway, I take my blood work, give it to Dr. Jones. I will say, I remember one time, I think I mentioned on here before, it said I had, it said like the herpes thing, right? And then I was like, why didn't nobody tell me, right? And so I'm looking, and so then I looked at the test before that. I'm like, and I had it here before too. And then I Googled it, and it was like the herpes 1 thing that the cold sores that everybody had. But I got real nervous. What happened? So anyway, so Dr. Jones, she takes your blood work, she looks at it, and she basically helps you, because a lot of times these doctors, it's like a factory. You ever notice that when you go into a doctor, you're in and out? I remember when I went to my gynecologist, because I have a big fibroid, I was waiting for like 45 minutes to see her, and I was literally in and out in 14 seconds. Like they have you, like they rotate you out so quick. And so Dr. Jones goes a step further, because a lot of times we are in and out really quick, and these doctors don't explain things to us. And what Dr. Jones does is she looks at your blood work, and a lot of people are misdiagnosed because their doctors just don't care. Dr. Jones will look at your stuff, explain it to you, make recommendations, and tell you how you can live an optimum life. That's what I love about her. So Dr. Jones has this, she has a consultation. It's not free, but she will give you a consultation if you have any type of medical, medical questions. April, you could be in good health, you could be in poor health. April's had the medical consultation as well.
Amazing. Amazing, 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 amazing. That's
Mhm.
all.
What happened? I mean, don't tell your business, but like what happened in the
Oh no, I
session?
listen. I tell all
What
my
made
business.
you
So number one, and look, I'm probably there now, but at the time they were telling me, you're in full blown menopause. At the time, I was not.
Mhm.
At the time, they were telling me stuff about my iron levels. Dr. Jones gave me other options as it relates to my iron levels. My iron levels are finally in a good place. Um, there were just so many things. Dr. Jones gave me. I brought my brain fog. I still have brain fog, you guys, but I'll tell you that she helped me. There was a gummy that she was like, "This is one of the ones you
like
should take."
marijuana gummies?
Go sit down.
You're on drugs? Is
Yes.
that legal in Augusta?
No.
Did
Uh,
you smuggle that from DC?
yes. But the the gummies that she had me take definitely helped as it related to my brain fog, so I could actually have normal conversations with people, because now I suffer from this thing called CRS. If you all are struggling with CRS, can't remember shit, please call Dr. Jones. That's ask Dr. Jones info. Oh, ask
Yeah.
Dr. J info. That's ask Dr. J info for CRS.
So, Dr. Jones, I want to ask you for your final thought. What and I know you talked about the coconut oil, but like just overall vaginal health. I know I've had those pink probiotics that I take every day to make sure my coochie is healthy. And I just, just try to make sure that, I wash twice a day. Don't want to smell like pee, don't want to smell like fish. But what are some things to make sure that our coochies or perhaps our vaginas are in optimal health?
So your vagina in optimal health, make sure that you are seeing your doctor to make sure that you don't have high blood pressure. Get your labs. Don't have diabetes. Don't have high cholesterol, because those are all things that will affect your vagina from reaching the goal that you want.
Okay.
The other thing is, as you age, the natural progression is your hormones are going to go down, your estrogen that makes us a woman, that makes us ready to have children, because you are getting out of childbearing ages. And so
Woohoo!
estrogen is going down. And so don't wait till you get, I can't say dried out and crackle, so that you get irritable and pee.
Okay.
Start in your 40s,
Okay.
and just like you do your facials, you add moisture, you add water, you do the same for your vagina. Keep it fresh, keep it clean, keep it intact. The muscles, you have to do your Kegel exercises. You can do them with um,
Doing them now.
yeah, well, sitting here, or sometimes if your muscles are really loose because you've had kids, you
Yeah.
may can't just do Kegel. You may actually have to get a dildo and do it around, or they make balls
They
that
had
you
the
can.
yeah, they had the little
They have
eggs.
the games.
They had the little eggs too, where you could just
That,
put it in your vagina and just walk around with it all day,
so
just like
that's
you
how
said.
you maintain. So, you know, building generational health is good, but if your body is in survival mode, you know, you when you're frustrated, your cortisol levels are high, you're more likely to make bad decisions because you're not healthy. Because having an orgasm is part of health.
Mhm,
It's our release valve.
mhm.
So remember, it's the hyaluronic acid, clean with the Dove soap, and then put the washcloth up there so that when you use your other washes, it doesn't get in your vagina and cause irritation or BV. And then the other thing is estrogen replacement as you get old. Maybe like once or twice a week from the 40s, but as you get into menopause or postmenopausal, you need to do it, 2 to 3 times a week.
The idea of putting acid on my coochie just doesn't sound right. So, but hyaluronic acid,
You
we
put
can
it on
put
your
It's
that.
what we
face.
use for our face.
Yeah, but to put it on your coochie, like my coochie is very
It's the
sensitive.
same, it's skin.
Okay.
It's just skin on the
You can
inside.
actually take it too. You can take it in pill form.
But you don't want to do that. You want to put it down there. Because
Well, I tell you what.
you want it to locally be on those tissues. Because just like if you do the estrogen inserts in your vagina, however you do it, suppositories, creams, or whatever, or peel, once you put it in there, they don't usually find it in your bloodstream.
Mm-hmm.
And so taking something in your bloodstream may not necessarily go to those tissues, but you want topically to go to those tissues so they can stay nice and
So they can absorb them
absorb
like
it,
immediately.
right.
Mhm. I'll say for me, my aha moment was the ongoing vaginal health, which I didn't realize that you needed to do. So for me, this conversation was very valuable because it's like, okay, you don't want to wait until you lose it. You want to be able to continue to use it even when you're not using it. And so,
Right.
Who wants to, by the time you start, like if you are abstinent, maybe not celibate, but you're abstinent and you want to start using that thing again, and that thing ain't thangin', you got to make sure while you're abstinent, when you get ready to bang it out, or what'd you say? Get it banged out? Is that what you said, April? You want to make sure that it works
I
well,
don't
right?
remember, but yes.
Yeah.
When you want to get it banged out, pound it out.
I
Yeah.
want so April, I'm gonna let you get to your final thought. But do women not want to be horny anymore? Like, are women okay with aging and just not doing sex anymore?
Well, they're stressed. That's why they're okay with it, because they are stressed. They have high cortisol levels. And so, that's why you see, remember the old people used to always say, oh, she just need to be laid. She'll do better. That's what they meant.
I
This right
always
here.
say that.
Is it true that exercise can increase cortisol as we get older? I was told.
Yes, that's the other thing we need to. We actually are going to talk about that in our next series
Okay.
of these wellness monologues.
Okay.
Is that a lot of people go to, they get in their 50s and 60s and say, oh, I want to do muscle maintain, and they go get a trainer. When you start getting a certain age, that makes your cortisol go up because your body's not used to this over exercise and all this training, and then it's not maintainable because as you get older, you can't maintain that type of high level intensity training. So trainers are great for rehab and for people who are working all alone. But if you're over 50 and you're starting this high intensity trainer, you're actually throwing up cortisol. You're not going to lose any weight and you're going to be frustrated.
So intense training is not good for for women of a certain age.
Right. As they get men either. If you haven't done all this why are you waiting to your 60s and 50s to train? Now, if you're trying to be a bodybuilder,
what's her name? What's the lady who's 70 years old who looks absolutely? Yes, that woman looks good.
She's probably been working out her whole life.
No, she started in her. No, she started in her 40s. The reason she and her one of her sisters started in their 40s because
she started in her 40s. She just started in her 60s.
I'm just saying, but she didn't start when she was 20. You know what I mean? Like she started in her 40s because her sister passed away, and she was like, I don't want to die early, and so she started to change her life. The reason I'm even saying that is because what you shouldn't do is just because you're starting in your 60s, not start in your 60s. Because I think that's where.
Well, no, what she's saying is you could exercise, but high intensity exercises.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that all I'm saying is that there are people who will take that and hear, oh, don't exercise because I'm getting older. And so I'm just saying, don't let that stop you because there's so many people who will hear one thing and that'll automatically say, oh, well, then I'm not doing anything as opposed to start. That's all. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not even just talking to you. I'm talking to my damn self because
no, you need to move. Your body is meant to move. You need to move. But moving can be form of exercise. For a lot of people, it's walking. That's what I do. I walk 4 miles a day.
In blue zones.
Yeah, in the blue zone. You can
everybody
walk.
In the blue zone walk.
Little things at home. But what I'm saying is you do not need to start training because they do high intensity. And then what happens, you have all these injuries. And then it sets you back because when you're older, you're more likely to have injuries.
Facts upon facts.
You really can't have sex.
Right. So, I'm not trying to life. But, it's all about money.
True that.
Yeah.
So
and can you maintain that?
Huh?
What?
And the thing is, once you start with those trainers, these high intensity training programs, can you maintain that? No, you can't.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. there's some high intensity training that you can do that
Mhm.
doesn't require a trainer. You know
Oh,
Okay.
what that
what is
is?
that, Constance?
Sex.
Which is what we're
If
talking
you
about.
Just
don't,
do
so
that.
so everybody who's from the DMV who knows junkyard, if you do not use it on a consistent basis, you will get, and I quote, we'll lose.
Booty. Booty.
I'm just saying, it can be a little disrespectful. So all my DMV people, don't get a loose booty.
Booty. That's your final thought, April?
No, my final thought. Number one, have conversations with your daughters. To your point. I know that when I don't want to say this. I know they will be like, bitch. I know that when my nephews were babies, and I'm talking babies, they will be sitting in the water, washing themselves, and pulling on their penis, just pulling, and it's a thing that they do. They play with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this is a toy. This is something to play with, and no one ever looks at them like, don't do that. Nobody ever says that's wrong. But if a little girl starts touching herself, they're like, to your point, Dr. Jones, this is wrong. This is bad. And so you have a lot of women that have never had orgasms, never enjoyed themselves. And then for a mother to not have that conversation with their daughter, yet fathers are having conversations with their sons. And even if a father's not having a conversation with their son, a mother is having a conversation with their son, because a mother doesn't want their son to go get somebody pregnant. They're like, strap up. Those are the conversations that they have with their sons. Strap up, do this, sex this. You know, they understand that the boy's going to go out and have sex no matter what. But they're like, I'm going to stop my daughter. No, you shouldn't have that. You shouldn't make your daughter feel uncomfortable about sex. You shouldn't make your daughter feel like, okay, this is something that I need to do in a private corner in some alleyway. Like, I'm just saying, not saying that that's the case, but it makes a lot of girls so uncomfortable that when they do have an orgasm, they're like, what the hell just happened? I.e. me. What the hell just happened to me? This is wrong. This is uncomfortable, even though it was an amazing experience. You know what I mean?
You thought something
So
was wrong with you when you had an orgasm?
hell yeah.
Shame. Shame.
Everything was coming out. I'm like, what the hell? What is this? Like, I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. And it's funny because when I finally realized this is not a bad thing, in talking to other women, they're like, oh, that's disgusting. You know what I mean? I'm like, shit, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm going to do this every chance I get. And then you go and find someone that you enjoy doing that with? Shit.
Yes.
You think I'm going to stop? Every chance I get. What you doing right now? You working? Take some time off and come home. You know what I mean? Whatever the case is. Shit, I'm enjoying myself. And I don't want it to break. So thank you so much for all of those tidbits, Dr. Jones. And I will also add, look, I'll take those and I'll raise you games. So they actually have Kegel games that you can play. So for those of you who are extremely competitive, you can actually insert it in your hoo-ha and look at your cell phone and squeeze every time to make the thing jump. I'm gonna get it. I haven't got it.
Hey,
Yeah,
send me that.
I'll find it and I'll send it to you, ladies. But
I tell you what, when I get
in
a man,
fact,
he gonna think he got the jackpot, because all these things that I'm about to be doing, the coconut oil and the Kegel games, we're going back to 1994 with it.
wait, what? Hold on. Okay, so it's the Kegel game with the app. I'm gonna put this out there, you guys. Right here is $152. It's down to the Amazon.
Oh,
So for all of you ladies who need this, I'm about to put it in the chat. I don't know if you are aware,
It's
but
$152?
yep, I am an Amazon influencer. So can you all go ahead and make sure you all buy it using this using this link right here?
She's an Amazon influencer. Get that Kegel game. It's $150?
Yeah. $152.
I'm gonna pass on that right now. But I will be getting the coconut oil. Don't know. So I've learned a lot. I probably won't be doing the intimacy thing with myself. I will get the coconut oil, and I'll get the Kegel balls. I'll do that. But I'm just, so the other stuff was great. And the intimacy things with yourself, you guys have at it. Y'all spend all the time that you need just discovering your body. I'm gonna pass on that part. So
I
listen,
love
y'all.
it.
Let me tell you something. These ladies right here, these are ladies who are part of our inner circle. We have an inner circle of really brilliant, brilliant women, of Net 7 Collective. And we are starting our new cohort on the 21st. Last night we had a kickoff and it was amazing. Dr.
Right.
Jones wasn't able to be there. However, because she had vertigo, which we talked about in the beginning. But we have women like these beautiful women, just amazing women that do some amazing things in the world. And if you are a Black woman or you know a Black woman, have them tap in. Go to net7collective.com. Or guess what? Okay, so we got net7collective.com. Then you have somebody like April, who is a chapter leader of our virtual chapter. And those are people all over the world where we don't have local chapters. And April is that person that is going to coach you to your greatness. And everybody's is raving over April. Everybody wants to be in April's chapter, the Net 7 Nation virtual chapter. Everybody wants to be a part of it. So, if you are interested in Net 7 Nation, go to net7nation.com. If you want to be a part of the inner circle with all of us, go to net7collective.com. I can't find it finally, but go to net7collective.com and learn more. And we're starting at the end of this month. Any other final words? I know you said your last stuff, Dr. Jones, but make sure you go to Dr. Jones, askdrj.com if you want a consultation. And you guys know this is our favorite doctor. She is the country's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
She is amazing. And we do this every week. This was an engaging conversation. It was great. And I think that it's something that we need to take with us. I do want to have a conversation at some point in this series about oh no, we already talked about that. What's that disease everybody gets? They said 1 out of 2 people.
Menopause?
No, the
I'm
disease
joking.
HPV. We already talked about HPV, so we're not going to
Yeah,
talk about
we talked about
we already talked about HPV. But I think that's something again that a lot of people need to know, because people don't, people are in their 40s and 50s and they don't know nothing about HPV, and they end up with ovarian cancer or whatever, and they have not, checked it out. So make sure you are having your checks. Go to the gynecologist, check your vagina, because somebody texted me and told me to stop saying coochie. Check your vagina. Make sure you are in good vaginal health. I appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.